we'll have Q&A session.
Hello, everyone.
Here we go. Thank you, Christina, for being here with us for media and awareness.
Hello. Thank
Perfect.
you for having me.
I see people are starting to wake up in the chat. Very nice. Thank you, guys. So don't hesitate to prepare your questions. We'll have a presentation with Christina for 30 minutes, and then we'll go to the Q&A session.
Hello.
So, Christina, you're in Romania right now?
I am,
you
yes.
Introduce yourself?
Yes, I can. I would love to start with a sound, because lately I'm very, very into sound healing and sound tuning. I'll tell you more about what I do in parallel with that, because this is just a new game that I'm playing. But I have this beautiful bowl, and I think I hope everybody will enjoy as the opening of our talk. I'm hoping that Zoom catches the sound right, because sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, we do not.
We had the same issue yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah, you need to go audio setting and activate original sound for musicians.
Okay.
If it helps, not always.
I'll do that in the next meeting. Anyway, I am El Trayan. I'm very happy to be here with you. I've been for tens of years interested in energy work. Ever since I was a child, I was telling people we're all energy and that everything is energy. I still believe that. I don't know how I knew it back then. Probably was past life memory, but now I know how I know it, because I've studied the holistic side of it and the scientific side of it, and having gone through a period of meditation and energy work as a child, and then 10 years of corporate life as an adult. From when I was 19 until I was 28, I was in the corporate world and totally forgot my energetic roots. I had to go back to it when I was 28 or something, and start working on myself to get back in balance, because from my initial background as energy worker to the corporate, some imbalance has been created. So at 28, more than 12 years ago, I've started working energetically, really seriously, to get back in balance. So I studied theta healing and Tibetan techniques and Chinese medicine techniques and Qigong techniques and so on. Of course, the Indian practice of sun gazing and yoga is still to this day my daily practice. And I've started to learn about the power of energy and how you can actually shift your reality with energy. My background in the university years was in sciences of communication, television, and English. So I got part of that background into learning how media works and how we are trained to think in a certain way through the media productions that are streamed over our channels. So I've started to train my mind into choosing the channels that I tune to. And over the years, I've looked at how I can communicate in a way that society is uplifted by my communication, by my streaming, by the things I display out there. So therefore, having learned energy work for tens of years and having practiced it, I've started to connect with fellow light workers to bring them into the pictures and collaborate with them into holistic events. So I've organized many humanitarian and educational campaigns, also in schools and in orphanages, and in many cities of my country. And then worldwide, I've created the Pranic Consciousness Summit with light workers from all over the world sharing their knowledge on energy work and especially energy nourishment. I created the Pranic Festivals, the Pranic Festival in Romania is reaching to the 8th edition right now. And we're bringing light workers from all over the world, including Sun Yogi, Uma Shankar, to share their practice on light nourishment, the capacity of being nourished by light, chi, or prana, and not using physical food. That has been my field of research over the past 13 years, how you can become autonomous and not need solid food or not need physical food at all, or at least decreasing the food intake to a level that becomes sustainable for yourself and for the planet, for no longer damaging your body with nourishment that you don't really need. So in this festival in Romania that's now reaching the 8th edition, we are sharing information, knowledge, and practice on how you can actually become food-free or at least autonomous energetically. Not only to not eat, because many people like to eat and they enjoy that, but to be able to nourish yourself in a different way. Like you've probably learned about sun gazing, nourishing our systems and our chakras and our energy fields, but it's actually nourishing our physical body. That's why sun yogis and other yogis and myself have been able for many years to decrease their food intake and have long times with no solid food or no food at all, and have much more energy than usually people have. I've been experiencing this for a long time. I've been feeling autonomous, and I'm feeling much better with liquid food and beautiful juices when I'm stabilizing emotionally and energetically. I like to spend a lot of time in nature and do a daily energy practice for that. Otherwise, it doesn't work. Otherwise, you're starving and dying. So, SOS to those who are trying this at home without knowing energy practice, you can actually damage your body if you do so. But when you know what to do, it's really, really working, and it's a fantastic way of living. So that's been my field of expertise. I've told you about the Pranic Consciousness Summit, which you can find online, and it's still ongoing as long as we find beautiful paradigm shifters all over the world that are tuned into this reality of energy autonomy, or free energy as we call it. We bring them in and we interview them or have live talks with them. For the Pranic Festival, it's every year in August in Romania, August 15 to 18, and we bring all the light workers together who are into this breatharianism, food autonomy, energy practice that is really, really high vibrational, so that they can share their practice and their knowledge. And I'm also one of the speakers, and we've also launched a Pranic Festival online and the Pranic Festival in India. We've had a beautiful Pranic Festival in the first year of pandemic 2020 in the Pyramid Valley before everything started. So it was amazing to be there in a pyramid built for meditation for 7,000 people, to share this information and this knowledge, and to have with us Sun Yogi online, but also Yogi who was nourished by prana for 75 years, not needing physical food or water. He's been tested in hospitals for 14 days and 10 days by the Ministry of Defense of India, and he has proven that he actually didn't need food or water. So it's an amazing information. For some, it's a little groundbreaking or a little far-fetched, but really, these are my people, these are my collaborators, this is the information that I bring into the world, and this is my experience, so this is I can speak of. I've also written 5 books on it, not only pranic nourishment or energy autonomy, but energetic practice in general. 5 books are published, but 8 are in total that I've written, so 3 more to publish. The latest one is the Pranic World book that I'm really, really loving because it shares all the information of the Pranic people I've met and how they did it. I love to not only speak about my activity, but the activity of my colleagues as well, because we're all one and we're all part of a stream of consciousness that is bringing this knowledge on earth. So this is my perception. I'd also like to give a heads up to the organizers and thank everyone for building this conference, because it's also very, very good for the energy of the planet, for the energy grid that is now receiving more information from all of us, and we're creating actually new portals with every talk that we're sharing about. And I'd also like to invite the organizers to start the chat box again, because it's disabled right now, so people can't ask questions. So if you have questions after the chat is enabled, please share them there. I really love to see your questions.
It's working now.
It's working now, yes. So this is part of my activity. The rest of my activity, apart from the conferences and the events that I'm participating in, like this one, is collaborating with 3 big organizations in the world. Unify, who is, streaming conferences all over the world with Chief Phil Lane and many of the light workers here. And we're sharing group meditations and fantastic consciousness streaming all over the world. The other organization is the Embassy of Peace, from which I'm sharing programs to uplift the consciousness of humanity. And there's a class that I'm teaching for 13 years, sharing methods of raising your vibration, becoming food free or diminishing your food intake, and being aware of everything that goes on in your body and with your energy field. I'm collaborating also with Pyramid, the Global Pyramid Society is an organization that has built 25,000 pyramids all over the world. And I've been a board member in this organization for the last 3 years. It has been led by Patrici, which probably many of you know, and now his daughter is continuing his activity. And the Soul Healing Academy is the organization on the academy that I'm running. So whatever works for uplifting the consciousness of humanity, I consider it part of my team, or I'm considering myself being part of this team. So we're a big team here, a big light council, as I like to call it, that are working for really helping people awaken and offering tools for keeping a high vibration on our path. And I thank you for being part of that as well. That's been my work for the last 13 or 15 years. And in parallel, I like to play with the sacred sites of the planet and of my country. I do very often trips to sacred sites and retreats in the sacred sites, working with the energy vortexes, the energy portals of the planet, to uplift them, to clean them, and to upgrade our energy bodies in collaboration with them, because the planet is alive. Her chakras are connected with our chakras, and once we tune into that, the evolution of our energy field is skyrocketing, and we can really have energy downloads that are unprecedented. So that's what I'm doing for many years now, and I'm constantly traveling all over the world, even during the pandemic, to keep certain frequencies in place in the energy matrix of the planet. I know it sounds grandiose, but it's not me doing it. It's just energy streaming through this body doing it. So I'm not taking credits for it. I just travel and do my work. And lately, in the last few years, I liked to include in my activity the sound healing chapter, that I work with energy bowls and various sound instruments. And I've noticed that through frequency and sound, the energy can be uplifted even higher, and through voice toning and through using our frequencies to tune into the forests and the waters and the elements of the earth, to shift the frequency from what we call 3D or 4D to 5D and beyond. And it's really possible in a very simple way when you use sound and frequency. So that's the latest chapter of my work. Also doing cacao ceremony and ecstatic dance all over the world. So that's part of my activity, and I've met really wonderful people. Like I've told you about the Uma Shankar Sun Yogi, who really brought us the model of pranic nourishment and what it means to be food free and liquid free and really be autonomous energetically. And that's the Homo luminous, or the next breed of humans that are coming on earth, and that we're going to become. Our bodies are really shifting from carbon to crystal, and yes, there have always been crystals, but now they're fine-tuning to a higher vibration. That's why everybody needs now lighter diet. Everybody needs to have a certain energy practice. In my opinion, you cannot drive a car without knowing the buttons and the gears that you're working with. So same for your body. That is your energy, your physical vehicle for the energy body. You need to know everything about it and to give it the best fuel and the best oil and everything it needs to run perfectly. So we're training people to get to that level of fine-tunement, that they are really in tune with their bodies, really perfecting the frequency of their physical structure, so that they can embody more light, so that they can embody the real divine frequency that we came here to be, all of us. No one of us is separated from the divine, or impossible to connect with it. So that's our message here on earth, that we can all connect to the highest of source. We can all tune into the highest frequency, and we can all stream it for the planet and for the people we need it. And that's the best service, I think, to the world right now. Instead of talking about things, being those things and embodying them, and embodying our light, which I call the embody enlightenment. Everybody talks about enlightenment, but really, I prefer the embody enlightenment. Not somewhere higher up, not in another realm, not once we leave our bodies, not after we die, but right now, right here, and in this physical vessel that we've come to perfect and bring to the highest of frequencies possible. And I think that's what your organization is teaching about, with the sun gazing, and all spiritual organizations around the world that are really fine-tuned into the highest of source are talking about, physical autonomy, highest of frequency, possibly prolonging the lifespan, because right now I'm collaborating with a team of scientists like Nassim Haramein and William Brown, who is a great geneticist, and Amir Valbaker and others that are studying what happens in the human cells, what happens with the ATP, the source of energy that we're having, what happens to the mitochondria that are constantly generating energy for our body, what happens with the pineal gland and pituitary gland when we're doing meditation or sun gazing, and why they're generating more melatonin, and how melatonin is regulating our hunger hormones and other hormones in our body, even our regenerating and rejuvenating structures. So they're discovering, these scientists that are collaborating with, that through energy practice, through meditation, through sun gazing, through fine-tuning your body in resonance with the universal field or divine, you can actually get younger, you can actually grow stronger over the years, not decrease and decay as we're used to do before. you can actually become more energetic, more powerful, more wise, of course. And we're discovering that there are civilization out there, before the history that we know of, that were living for hundreds of years or even thousands of years. And there are reports of ancient yogis that are even now in the Himalayas living for at least 400 to 600 years. And they're still, contemporaneous with us. And there's an amazing book that I'm studying, The Life and Teachings of the Masters of the Far East, that is speaking about the research of 11 scientists in the Himalayas working with immortal people, working with people that were energy autonomous, working with people that were able to bilocate, to teleport, to telepathically send messages to each other as we're speaking on the phone, and to function in that way for hundreds of years. And these scientists have met them personally, and they sat at the tables with them, and they are reporting, the things that they found. So I highly recommend that book, and I highly recommend our festival. So because you're actually able to sit at the table with people that are not eating for 30 years or 20 years, or practicing sun gazing for 10 years and only using liquids, winning triathlons on just orange juices and stuff like this. This is what I like to focus on. This is what I like to present. And I would love the media that we're speaking about to actually catch up on that and present the right news in the right directions, instead of fooling us that we are depending on, pharma remedies and depending on external resources of all kinds, and including the fact that the energy is limited on the planet. Like we're having now an issue with the heating system and the lighting system, that it's becoming all expensive. Everybody's asking, do you think it's correct that people use that much energy now and stuff like this when the energy is limited? And I'm replying, why is it limited? We always have the sun. Like the sun is always there. I'm looking at it every day. Even in countries where you can't see it, it still exists because it gives you light. So how is really the energy limited on the planet? We are having free energy. Their system is invented for tens of years. Tesla has proven it. Other scientists have proven it. Nassim Haramein is talking about it and has invented various devices that are proving it. So how is the energy limited on the planet, and why is media presented it so? What do you think of that? If you want to ask any questions in the comments, I think we have 3 or 5 more minutes. And in the meantime, I'm also placing in the chat box my data so that you can get in touch with me. I placed my bio and some link to our events, and you can also find my contact data there. I would love to get in touch with you on our other channels like Instagram and Facebook and everything that you find in those links. Is there any questions? Yes, Nitin, I see, wants to ask something. I would love to connect with him if possible.
So you still have 5 minutes for your presentation.
That's
Maybe
great.
you could talk about media and
Yes.
your experience working in the media.
Yes, absolutely. So can Nitin ask his questions before I go into that? Because I see a hand up and I'm feeling it's important.
Okay. Sounds good. Nitin, let me see.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Nice to see you.
Yeah. Your research work is very much interesting. Can you tell me the procedure that is other than the Sun Yogi procedure to make us food free or pranic nourishment? Can you tell me something about your work? Yes.
So in my experience, for more than 10 years now, I've been doing daily meditation. I've been doing daily yoga or qigong and sun gazing. So that's been my first practice that I'm still continuing. It's still ongoing to this day. That has caused me to diminish my food intake. First, I've gone through vegetarianism, then veganism. Then I discovered I'm much easier with non-solid food, which is smoothies and juices, and there are days where I prefer just water and tea and maybe kombucha, which is a very energizing drink, but really, really light. So the energy practice that I discovered to be efficient are these three important pillars: meditation, yoga, and qigong. Apart from that, as I describe in this book, there's very important that we do emotional and physical detox. You can't be autonomous or diminish your food intake if you're having really heavy thoughts or emotions. In the Tibetan practice, where they talk about achieving the rainbow body, or the body of light, as we call it, they're talking about one being able to achieve that or attain that level when we're holding only positive thoughts for several years. So while we're still having negativity and worry and the stream of competition and control in our field, especially in our mind frame, that is consuming a lot of energy from our physical body, and it's keeping us separated in a way from the source energy that could really enter and nourish our cells. So the more you tune into the media news, the more you tune into the status quo that they're trying to present to us, that everything is limited and scarce and everybody is sick and or in the peril of getting sick or in the peril of aging and dying without drugs that you can buy from pharmacy, all that media streaming that you're watching on your news now is creating that separation in your mind. And that's my experience with media, Axel. It's creating that separation in your mind to keep you into the fear games and hunger games and depletion games that aren't true. Once you disengage from the mainstream media, that is never going to give you the truth. So far, they're not tuned to that. They're not tuned into that frequency. They are controlled by something else that's not benevolent. But once you tune into alternative media, the programs that this organization is creating, or the programs that we are creating, or all the uplifting information that is circulating now on the planet, teaching us that yes, we have free energy, yes, we have energy healing or natural healing available to us, yes, we have alternate nourishment sources that are coming from a higher source, not from the food and drugs that you're intaking. Once you tune your mind into that and train your mind to go into that frequency, and you can watch the Resonance Science Academy programs, the Sun Yoga programs, the Academy of Peace programs, the PSSM Global programs, the Greg Braden or Bruce Lipton or Joe Dispenza programs. All of this is really good, nourishing information for your mind. It's really good media. It's really truthful, really science-based, but also deeply rooted in holistic education, in energy work education. So nourishing your mind in a beneficial way, not going into the worry and the fear, detoxing your energy body with various practices that we're teaching in our workshops. Now it's too little time to explain all that. And detoxing your physical body, really getting rid of all the toxins and all the habits that you're having that are intoxicating your cells. That is helping you diminish your food intake and be food free eventually, if you're meant to be food free in this lifetime, because it comes with a specific blueprint. At least if you're not completely food free, you're eating 20% of what you're eating now and you're still a winner, Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. And one more question, one last question. Did you using the sound energy also in your daily practice?
Yes, as I said, I'm using sound energy. The chat is disabled again, so people can't ask questions. If you want to enable it. And thank you so much, Nitin. Can we take a question from Lisa Wolf, please?
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. See you.
All right.
Grateful to be here.
So I guess the two sessions are now completed, and we're switching to Q&A. So please
Okay.
fire away your questions, everyone.
Okay.
Lisama, Siava.
So yeah, we have constant people attacking, so that's why we need to be a little bit careful with chat and sharing.
We have the Zoom police.
I think there's a Q&A
Accent.
section. I don't know if you have it. Is there a Q&A section where people can place their questions? I'm not sure how this works. Anyway, Lisa is having a question, so we can just stream her in directly if you want.
Yeah, we can ask directly with people unmuting themselves.
Lisa is
show
muted.
your video also, so we can see you.
Lisa is also muted.
There we go.
I'm not going to turn my video on. I'm in bed. It's really late.
That's okay. No worries.
But I wondered if you've had much experience. I've been using the Genius biofeedback system. Have you used that at all?
I'm not sure what that is. Sorry, I didn't ever heard. I didn't hear of it so far. Maybe Nicholas is knowing something about it. I didn't use it.
I guess I'll turn my camera. Okay. It's, can you see it?
I see something. But tell us what it is rather than showing it to us. I think it's better this way. Either way, I didn't use it, so I can't tell you anything about it.
It's a biofeedback system that actually works with frequencies, and you can also, work remotely with people. So it
yes, I get it. I get it. It takes your frequency and upgrades it according to the programs that you want to use. I get your information telepathically. Anyway, so I didn't use this specific one, but I've been connected with the one that is called Healy. I've used it for a while, and there's a friend who still sends frequencies to me. I've shared it with my clients because I also do therapy 101 with the soul healing therapy, connecting with people's field and fine-tuning their energy and shifting their mind programs and shifting their energy biofeedback, as you call it. So I've recommended that to my clients. Personally, I don't use it anymore because my frequency has outgrown it. So I didn't need it anymore. I didn't, but I still find that Healy is a good biofeedback device that people can use, and I can share a link with you if you need that. I find it beneficial.
Great.
Nicholas, I love what you're drinking. It's mouth-watering.
So, Nicholas and Christiana, you can both answer questions. I was wondering if you knew about living with Prana. Oh, nice. Coconut. Here we go.
Yes.
Christiana?
Yes.
Christiana, where are you in Romania? Where are you based?
Well, I'm all over the place. I don't stay in one place because I'm working, as I said, with energy vortexes, so I'm traveling across the country constantly. But when I come back to one place just to rest for 2 days, I'm next to the Romanian Sphinx. If you've heard, in Romania there's a Romanian Sphinx. It's connected to the Egyptian one. So we're actually having an energy tunnel from here to Egypt that is connecting to the Giza Plateau, and I'm living there next to it. So I'm based in Transylvania, no Dracula though, and I'm in the mountains next to a forest.
Yes. Well, what city?
It's a bit.
Or
do you know Romania at all? It's next to Brașov.
I know Romania well because I lived there.
Ah, you live there. Okay, it's next to Sinaia and Brașov.
Okay.
I'm guessing you know where the Sphinx is, so that's where I am.
Well, I have read all the books of Radu.
Yes, He's
I
amazing.
know.
So we highly recommend the books of Radu Chinamar. Radu Chinamar, I'm typing it.
Could you please explain to them who Radu is?
I love you.
Do you know him personally?
He's not available for the public. That's the answer that I can give now.
But have you met him personally? Did you speak to him personally?
Not in person. Radu Chinamar is a pseudonym of a writer that has written many books about the connection between the Romanian Sphinx and other energy portals on the planet, including the Egyptian Sphinx, some portals, underground chambers in Syria or Iran, and other Tibetan locations that are in the inner earth and so on, that are hosting very advanced civilizations similar to the ones in Shambhala. Actually is reporting having been able to travel to a city similar to Shambhala, and he's explaining how they entered these types of communities, how they found several bases across the world that were on non-human origin. We can't say extraterrestrial because it's actually intraterrestrial, so it's still on Earth, it's actually in Earth. If you've heard of Talos or Agartha or similar civilizations, they are existing and they have bases all across the planet. He has been able to tune into them, connect with them, visit them, and there are military bases across the planet under the ground that are not of human origins but are collaborating with humans and are allowing some people to visit these places. So he has written about these experiences. There are, I think, 7 or 8 books under his name published in English by Sky Books publishing house, so you can read them in your own language, and you can learn more about the Romania and the energy places here, also various other energy places across the world, including Tibet. So that's what Radu does. The reason why he's not public at all with his real name or meeting people is because he's been part of military department and he's under, government secrecy. Thank you so much for the question. It's been amazing to talk about it. Yeah, I love this topic. It's my life.
Nice. So we have different raised hands. Lisa already asked one question, so I guess it's Axel's turn.
Mm-hmm.
I heard Nicholas, he had some children that would come, or they're not coming?
They're in another room, so I told them to go in another room, so it's fine.
So they're ready
So is it a surprise?
Yes.
Oh, it is a special situation. I will talk about it privately, yes.
Okay, that works.
It's awesome. I've been very grateful to switch places with you. It's been really beneficial for me. Perfect timing.
Thank you. Thank you.
So media and awareness, we have different questions in different documents. Axel was asking what kind of media is doing a real impact.
Sorry, who was that? Was that Lisa?
I think it's better I tell you, so you better can explain.
Yeah, you're here.
For me. So how can we use media to create a real impact?
Sorry, I missed who it was asking the question.
Actually, it's for both, but you can start because it's the main topic for both of you anyway. So,
okay. Yes.
So I hope you both can give an answer. But it start, Nicholas. Yes.
So sorry, the question was.
So how can we use media effectively to create a great impact, especially what we are focused on here, like increasing the awareness?
Yeah. So a lot of this goes hand in hand with the whole reality, like how beautiful humans really are, and like the paradise that we really was given on Earth. And Christiana, thank you so much for sharing this higher knowledge. And we can also weave this into film if you want to.
Yes. Looking forward for it.
It is. Yes, this is very controversial, and there are so many subjects to do films about. And so your question is like, how can we do film that has positive impact? So as artists and healers, when we have great power and we have a big audience and we have a lot of followers, we have a responsibility. So there are many truths. But when we choose to focus on something, like I said, like I saw that the mainstream business didn't have the intention to make people healthy. So when the filmmaker has this intention, why will I make movies? I want people to come back to their origin. So what I will show is something that has not been shown because maybe the mainstream media has another purpose. And growing up in this society and everything, we may not understand and see some things. So as a filmmaker, as a conscious artist, we can start to grasp either very advanced things, or we can grasp simple things, but it's all about to bring people back to who they are. And the idea of, because we're talking a lot about technology, right? So in the history of technology on this earth and other planets and dimensions and everything, as we're going, Christiana was going into many other things, we can use everything we know, our powers, to help people. We can also use it to block people and to instill fear. So the choice is, how do we impact people positively? We take something that we're passionate about, that we know that it's really good for people, and with honesty we start to do a movie about it, for example. And the way of doing it is not to put it on people like propaganda. Because we also, like when we have a communication with each other, we don't force each other, right? So when we talk to each other, so making movie for me is like, I invite you to be a part of this movie. So how do I do that? I make it human, because we are human beings. So living on Earth in this biological system, and also being a soul on its journey, we can intertwine different ingredients to bring people back to their original self. And so there are endless ways to do impact on the world with films. But because we're now living in a technological age, we need to use the technology with the intention to make people healthy and happy in the mind. Because technology can be misused, and today it's in majority very misused. But we as conscious workers, we can do everything with technology, like this conference, for example. And so we take what we have and we use it to help other people. So if there's a radiation system with cell phones that is affecting the meridian system on Earth, like the body has meridians and the Earth has meridians, and when you install technology that disrupts this meridian system, then we have to start thinking how we can use technology to make people healthy and not disturb this system, this natural rhythm and system on the earth. So this is also through history on Earth and different timelines and other planets. They were very high conscious, but it's not about being high conscious or the skills or the supernormal things. It is about what you choose to do with your skills and your powers and your talents. So the intention is always do something that serves people in their health and getting back to themselves. And I think that is how you impact people. Either you do a movie with your telephone or you connect with your community, but it is the intention to choose something that is beautiful and brings people back to themselves. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you, Christiana. You can participate.
Yes, I was sharing earlier that we can either project our attention and feed with our energy the mainstream media that is basically, I mean, I don't go against anything, but I'm just seeing the results of it, so it's not really nourishing for our systems. Or we can create media that is nourishing and uplifting. And I've told you about the organizations that I follow and collaborate with: the Resonance Science Foundation, the Resonance Academy, the Embassy of Peace that I'm a member of. I'm Peace Ambassador, the Global Pyramid Society movement, the other organizations, including yours, that are streaming nice media on the planet, nice information, uplifting and nourishing news and sciences and ways of uplifting our bodies and our energy. I personally used media and still use it to create projects that are uplifting for humanity. So I've been telling you and writing in the chat about the Pranic Consciousness Summit, the Pranic Festival in Romania, the Pranic Festival in India, and the campaigns in schools that I've done, volunteering for helping children have a different view on reality, a more uplifting view, and collaborating with various other organizations that are doing uplifting news for the planet. So watching positive news and creating positive news of all kinds that are really helping people thrive instead of deplete their energy, that's how to use media consciously right now. I mean, instead of posting, food pics and boobs all the time, we can actually think before posting something, what is it really doing to the audience and what's the message I'm creating? And with that, you change your whole perspective about what you share and what you look at. That's all I feel to say right now.
Yeah, beautiful. So that means there's a correlation between media and health, right?
Directly. Because there's a correlation between your mind and health, and how your mind programs are functioning is influencing your cells and your genes. There's a book, Biology of Belief, that is showing that you can actually rewrite your genetic coding. And I'm doing that with the soul healing therapy. Once you change the programs in your mind, you actually change your DNA. So that's how important it is. Yeah.
Can I add something beautiful that, Christiana, I'm grateful that you awakened something that I want to share?
Totally. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Christiana. Yes, you are pointing out the importance of, you were talking about your journey as with sound and intention and everything. And I want to, because with the people that I help in my holistic medicine, when you were talking about programming, like reprogramming. So when we grow up in this industrialized world, and so there is a sound, there's of all the senses, there is something that is programming us. And so when we refocus that, because everything we watch, everything we eat, everything we think about, the water, the air we breathe, we become all of it. It becomes kind of like it fills our mind, heart, and soul. And so if there's something that's not really clean in it, like it brings us away from us as our original self, and also artificial food also affects our energy system, all the chakras. So for example, a lot of food chemicals can bring down the third eye.
Yeah.
And the third eye is a high energy intuition to the cosmos, right? We have another intuition also. It's the biological intuition. These are two different systems, and they are highly affected by everything we eat, by everything we watch. So when we watch media, it can open up our higher intuition, and it can open up our biological intuition. So what we listen to, the music, is a reprogramming all the cells, what kind of frequency they have, like purification, or bringing the frequency up and starting to feel our true essence in our heart and starting to feel our connection to the divine. And also the surroundings that we have. So we actually eat with the skin and we eat with the breath. So when we come out in nature, our whole system will start eating everything. So we're programming everything with the way we live, either artificial way or a natural way. So that's why media is very important, because in this technological age, nobody is actually avoiding media. And I grew up in a nature tradition. Like I grew up with my uncles, and we didn't use shampoo, for example. We used just like lemon, or we used ashes. We just put it on the body and we just rinsed it. Because that is what will go to nature, and that is what will go into ourselves, everything that we use. And so everything is affecting our body, everything that we use, and it's affecting the surrounding system. So that is also important, like what do we choose to look at every day on media? What do we choose to eat, and what do we choose to listen at? Yeah. So, yeah, thank you so much. Importance.
Good. I think you guys make a good team together. So we have another question from Nitin. Nitin, find you and unmute yourself. Let me see. If you're still with us, Nitin, brother, was a question about struggles in life. Although your life is too much struggling. Oh, you're here, Nitin. Here we go.
Yeah.
Please ask her.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Axel. Thank you very much. Actually, my question is, Nicholas, that as I heard, means you told you about your life, means you struggle a lot. So my question is, what will be the most important factor, or you can say that to whom you want to give the credit to your success in your life?
Thank you so much for asking. As for struggles and credits too, do you mean a link between them, or you mean them as two questions?
Can you repeat?
Yes, you were talking about struggles in life, and then you were talking about gratitude for my life. Is it something you would link into one question, or is it two questions?
Yeah, these are the two questions actually. So you can give one by one note.
Okay, thank you so much for explaining. So I feel that as I see with myself, and I see with the people that are awakening to their life purpose, like we came to Earth to do something beautiful for our life and other people. we are all like the lotus flower. We must have a lot of mud, and we become so beautiful as lotus flowers. So this is how I feel so grateful with all the challenges that I have, because all the different specific challenges that I have, I could point them directly to what they were giving me. Like I could see, like, wow, this particular challenge, like I had a very, very hard childhood and teenage years. It was like a military training. And so I felt like, why do I have this kind of life? Why can't I be free and everything? But strangely, everything that was in it was really something that I was passionate about. And but it was some kind of a suppression I felt. But it was so strange that after I saw it, that I was grateful for everything that it had given me. The challenges kind of went away because I was kind of done with these meetings and these things that would develop the tool in me. So I think that the universe gives us like accidents, and it gives us hard relationships in order for us to develop something beautiful in ourselves. And if we want, we can also bring that to our life purpose and help other people with that specific challenge that we had as children or as teenagers or adults. So that was a good question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So the second question was who I'm grateful for. I actually was crying so much before I started this, and I was thinking, oh, I'm gonna be late. So I felt the presence of my mother. Yeah, my mother was my greatest teacher, but she didn't teach me anything. And I think that was the beauty, that she was just so unconditional, and she was so supportive, and she just showed me unconditional love and taught me that just by being with me, accepting me the way I am, and also giving me the instrument of not judging other people, but trying to just understand their history and their motivations, like she did. And so she just loved me so much. So I think that getting through all the challenges and the pains in life, I was always like just turning myself back to the deepest gratitude to my mother. So yeah, my mother's name was Snow. She was Vietnamese. So on her funeral, it was springtime before, but then snow came on her funeral. And then the day after, the snow disappeared. And so every time I was thinking about her at that spring, when she died, snow would come. You know? So, yeah. And my father, he was also a very beautiful, honest, and courageous man. And he showed me to be really like powerful in my path and follow your own truth and never give up. So these two beautiful people that gave me this life, yeah, and all the people that is doing something beautiful for other people in the world now, because sometimes when I see like the cruelty of the society, sometimes I just want to give up and die. But then I remember that there are people that cares, and they're really compassionate, they're doing beautiful things for other people, and then I have hope again. So yeah, so thank you to you guys. Thank you so much.
Okay, yeah, whatever you told, I feel that whatever we learn from the word, or you learn from your mother and father, so sometimes I feel that the words are not required actually, but the emotions you attach, like you told me that you attached your mother and father so well, so he doesn't teach you, even after that you you got from her a lot. So I think the emotions and the touch between both of you, so that are beyond the words actually. So, okay, but thank you very much. Thank you for your experience sharing. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I also want to say that you said your mother, she was not teaching you, but she was teaching you. But she was really teaching you. Like, she tried to teach you, but that's where you got the real teaching. It's like we are in the society today, and we go to school, and they focus on teaching, but what they want to teach doesn't go in, because it's it's not the way we mostly learn. We learn by watching and taking after, and we see good things from. We get our idol, like our mother and father is our first idol, and we take after them, not what they say, but what they do. So oftentimes maybe they say something and do something bad, and they're smoking in behind the house, and then when we grow up, we start doing the same, even if they say we should not smoke. So that's interesting. Yeah.
So that's funny. I had a similar question.
Yeah.
To both of you, actually. Yeah, to both of you, I was thinking. Wanted to ask also Christiana about your experience with meditation. When people have trauma in their life, or they have, like, for example, they lose someone in their family, or they have like struggles in their lives, what can really help, and what do you think in your experience like works?
Yes, I would speak for myself, because that's the trauma I've connected with best, even though I witnessed people's trauma every day in my therapy sessions afterwards. But when I was a child, I knew that we are energy, so I was taught to meditate in a crystal. In a small crystal, I would go before bed in that palace, so to speak. It was a crystal palace that I would enter and meditate there. And that helped me work with the trauma of having constant quarrel in my house, and conflict. So once I went into my crystal and I went in meditation, I was in a safe space and away from the conflict area, so to speak. Then when I was 11, I had to witness my grandfather struggle with cancer for a year. I was trying to feed him and trying to help him cheer up, even though it was in excruciating pain. And then I had to hold his candle to his death. So because of my background in meditation, once he died, I wasn't shook off. At that moment, I was very stable. I was able to watch his soul leave his body. I was able to watch him go through the corners of the room, then above the house. And it's only later that day that I felt I lost contact with watching his soul. But being able to see his soul and see him leaving and traveling gave me the awareness that he's actually not dead, but just shifting frequency and going into another dimension, which kept me stable for a while. After another while, though, I started missing him, because I was a child and he was my father figure. He was the one raising me. So that brought me deep into trauma. Whenever I heard songs that I would sing with him, or see things that I would do with him, I would cry my eyes out, because I was really missing him. Even if I was aware that he's, in a different frequency and watching me, and I was having dreams of him, I wanted him to hug me in the physical world, So that was a huge trauma, to not being able to connect with him physically and have his protection and his, loving care every day. So meditation again has helped. So I've carried that trauma ever since I was 11 or 12 until I was maybe 28 or 30. I would constantly have that trauma of being, left or deserted by my father figure, by the person I loved the most in my life. And it was only after my 30s that through meditation and various other healings, I was able to reconnect with him and communicate with him. And part of that trauma went away. And it helped me stabilize into trusting love again, trusting that love wouldn't hurt, and so much more that I had experienced through my adolescence and early youth. So yes, meditation really helps. Once you go into that center of your being, once you center into that infinite essence of yourself and your heart of hearts, you can connect with anyone everywhere and feel love at a deepest level and feel that you're always connected to love and you're always loved. And the biggest love that you're receiving is from your actual core, from your heart, and then from the core of the universe and the core of the earth. And everything is connected in your heart of hearts. And from there, you can send rays of light. And I actually recommend that we do this right now. Send rays of light to everyone in the room, everyone in a gathering, everyone on the planet, everyone beyond the planet, so that you can connect to whomever you want to and feel the loving embrace of every physical being or light being that is existing or ever existed. So that's how it helped me go through trauma. And when I find a client that's going through deep trauma, I first connect everyone to their core. So that's my main job, to connect people back into their soul. That's why the therapy is called Soul Healing. And then through meditation and different healing practices, we clear that trauma, we clear that burden, we clear that desperation, you might say, that many people are going through. Like 2 days ago, a client called me. Her boyfriend has committed suicide 3 months after leaving her. So she was constantly trying to connect with him, and he wasn't replying to her calls, and now all of a sudden he's out of his body. So that's the ultimate breakup, you would say. But eventually, when she noticed that she can connect with him energetically, with his soul, with his presence, with his love that is beyond the human form, beyond the human appearance, beyond the shenanigans that we go through in human life, it became the ultimate reconnection. Because in the physical plane, they were already in a breakup, but now through this passage, they connected back into love. So I believe meditation can help anyone with any type of trauma, because you stabilize back into the core of your being that is never traumatized, and it's always whole, always complete, always powerful, ever empowered, and infinite and eternal. Yeah.
Thank you, Christina.
You're welcome.
I agree. Nicolas, you want to say something? Losing, everyone goes through the experience of losing someone in their life and through trauma. How do we survive? How do we cope? How do we continue life?
Yes. We have a very big spiritual interest. And I think that is what brings us back to ourselves. But we must also remember that we're humans. So when we combine these two beautiful gifts, that sometimes we just need to allow ourselves to be in mystery and not know, and that life is not perfect, and that is kind of the perfection in it. So we have to allow ourselves to feel at the same time as we remember who we are and why we came, and that the the soul journey is eternal. But still, as we know that the soul is eternal, and we reincarnate into different bodies to experience different life forms and to experience and to expand ourselves, we still have emotions, we still have feelings. So losing people that we love and knowing I will see my mother and father again, still, when losing them, I appreciate them more because I don't take this earth life for granted. No, I appreciate it a lot. And I know that I come from other planets, other systems. But I came to be human to this earth with a soul. And I think we need to remember that our emotional system is a guiding system, is a cleansing system that we are perfectly tooled with. And so that's why when these griefs come up, so for me, I had to go into a very intense period of losing 3 people. And so the thing for me was like just feeling in the day, like what do I need? Do I need to purify, cleanse, and work with my emotions that are there? Or do I need to uplift myself? And also how the body is connected to the mind and how we nurture our body and rest a lot and talk to friends or do meditation, different kinds of therapies, healing, and allow this human side to be with us, but we still remember that we are eternal and that I will meet my mother again, and we have lived past lives before. We're sisters past life, for example. And that doesn't take away the sorrow that I feel. And yeah, I guess like just allow yourself to be in the process. And one day it's gonna feel easier. And one day you're gonna like learn so many things of that separation, of everything you went through together, and the maybe beautiful moments before a person dies, and how you open up to each other, and what you give to each other in terms of relationship wisdom. And yeah, there's so much appreciation and beauty in all these processes with the ups and downs. So yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. So Jana was asking, where can we see your films?
Yeah. So actually today I had an email from Monaco Film Festival. Yay. And they will start to screen one of my movies. It's called The Beauty of Living is Giving. So this movie was awarded in around 10 festivals all around the world. And they sent me an email asking me if they could screen this movie online on their website. And the thing is, I have been awarded for other movies, which are still being screened in other film festivals. And if they put them online, I must decide not to have them in other film festivals. So now the time, because they have been flourishing around in different festivals, it's time for me to focus on my new projects so I can allow online streaming of them, because so far it's only been in different film festivals. And so actually, I was saying before that I said no to the mainstream film industry in Los Angeles and Hong Kong and Thai and Swedish cinema for some roles. And so I was sometimes, and my friends were sometimes saying, I think you're stupid, you should have taken it and you could do your own movies after that. And then I was struggling 10 years. And now this last year was the first year actually that my films got appreciation. So it's not about winning. And it's not about being like the best or something like that. But the thing is, like, if we have influence as conscious people wanting to bring more peace to the world, it is very positive that they get acknowledgement because more people will see them. So that is my intention, that I can be very neutral in my way of making films. They're still spiritual, but I'm not talking through a special religion or philosophy. So then I can have a reach which goes to the person's art directly. So that is my focus and my way. And so that is how I could reach different film festivals with my movies. So I will send you a link, Nina, and all you other guys, when Monaco Film Festival has put it on their website.
Yahoo!
Yeah. So Jana was asking, how about all of your movies?
All my movies.
She wants them all. Where are they?
In Sweden, we had a film premiere 5 years ago. It was another movie called The Beauty of Giving. And so it's like physical premieres. And there is some people that in Kolkata, they have created a worldwide festival. And I won one festival they had in Bali. So they wanted me to come to Kolkata next time I have a new movie. So maybe I can invite Mina to this festival in Kolkata. Is that far from your home, Mina?
This is not my home. Kolkata is not my home. I'm in Mumbai.
Oh, is it far from Mumbai?
Yeah.
It was a question from Jana, actually, but that's okay too.
Our Sun Yoga organization is very close to Kolkata. We are at the ashram.
Oh, great. Okay.
So many people there can.
Yeah, so we now it's only 9 minutes left for questions, and everyone has many questions. Axel, you had raising hand.
Can we take the one for Jose Celis?
Yeah, I could see that one too. Yeah, but Axel had raising hand before.
Let's Christiana answer that question.
Okay, so the question was from Jose Luis Celis. Jose, are you here? Can you ask question directly? If you're here in the assistance.
Jana wrote that nobody can go to India.
Yes, we can. Yes, we
no
can.
problem. I stayed there for almost 1 year now. So.
Yes,
I don't know where Jana is from, but I'm invited to a film festival in Bali in a couple of months. And then also I will have film premieres in Sweden and in United States. So if you are there, we will check if we are aligned, and I will invite you to the film festivals there. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Thanks.
Oh.
So we have Jose Luis Celis asking, have your pranic experience given you an understanding about the alchemy?
Alchemy, yes, I love the topic. That's my experience before the pranic experience. I've been working on emotional alchemy, energy alchemy, tantra, working with the inner sexual energy or kundalini energy for alchemizing it into Shen and spirit. You know, in the Qigong tradition, they explain that you can alchemize your physical energy from Qi, from Jing, which is the dense physical energy, into Qi, which is energy for manifestation, and then into Shen, which is spirit or spiritual energy, or the energy to connect back to source and have higher intuition, higher perception, higher knowledge. That's my experience with working with energy. Even before I noticed that we can be energetically autonomous. So I loved studying and working with the Chinese techniques of alchemizing our emotions in our internal organs, alchemizing, as I said, our sexual energy, alchemizing our thoughts. That is for me the true Tantra, the real Tantra, not the whole industry that is proliferating right now. And I've noticed that you can actually alchemize matter outside of your body. So when something is dense and not clean, for example, a specific type of food, you can alchemize the vibration of it and turn it into a medicine for your body. So I love alchemy. I think we're all here to become inner alchemists, to be able to alchemize or transform our own negativity, our own traumas, if you want, into positive, uplifting, nourishing energy. And I've been able to teach that to others, and help others awaken their own Kundalini as I've awakened mine, to respond to Nitin as well.
Thank you, Christina. So I think Nicolas also has some experience in martial arts. Alchemy, is it connected to martial arts somehow?
It can be, but it doesn't have to be.
Okay, that's good. So, Axel, do you have still raised hand? Or
Yes,
is it
so,
just because you're practicing?
So, yeah. I have the question to Nicolas, because many movies oftentimes is very simple, materialistic things, simple. Do you find it more difficult to make a good spiritual movie, or maybe easier?
In my holistic medicine, I work with energy healing, and I work as a psychic, so I read people's past lives. When I read their past lives and understand their connection to their diseases and their body, my stories come into the script. Woof. I don't write them. I just take the stories perfectly, because I do fiction films and I do documentaries. And the way life is in the world and the way a human's life is, I'm so grateful that I can see, and I learn so much from every person I help, because I don't see myself as a teacher or master. When I treat somebody, I go to the same level. I become one with them. I become equal. And I learn so much from everything, from their challenges, like it was me. And when I go into their world, thank you so much, I got a script. And sometimes I ask them, can you please be the actor in my new movie? Sometimes they don't want to. Sometimes they say, yes, let's make a movie about my life. Because I like to do drama, I like to do comedy. And so I take out the essence from that person's struggles and the way they transform themselves into beauty. So for me, making movies is very easy to get that story from people's lives. And probably I will meet you guys someday, and maybe we have a collaboration and I will get an insight in your life. So maybe I will ask to be inspired by your life. Who knows? Thank you so much.
We're looking forward to collaborate for the Pranic Festivals. Maybe you want to make a movie about that. The topic is no longer so controversial right now. There's hundreds of people, if not thousands, in the world who are having this experience, and it's actually becoming mainstream. So we can have the courage to do that. There's a previous documentary having been made called In the Beginning There Was Light. I highly recommend everyone watching it. And I feel there's a sequel necessary already, because that's been 10 or more years ago. And from then, many, many hundreds of people have awakened to this reality.
I would have one short question to Nicholas. Do you need to meet people to read their past lives?
No. The first thing I need is their face. And I also need a picture of their body. And then I ask them, is there something specific you would like to have help with? Or do you just want have help with anything that comes up? Or do you want both? And that's all I need. So for 1 hour of yoga or meditation, so they have an entrance to their inner self. And so past life is just a way to bring you back to what you need to work with now, in this moment of some issue you cannot solve, but you've been trying to solve it because everything is energetically trauma inside your body. You know it, but how can you move on with it? So then,
how much does that cost?
That costs for 3 hours, and then after we have 1 hour of conversation together. I'm very heart-centered, and I'm just with you. So for 3 hours, it's $200. This is like a selling session. No. So because everyone has different challenges in life that comes in relationships, with diseases, and why you came to this earth, what are you going to do with your talents? Now, the challenges are connected to your talents. And in past lives, you have traces from different backgrounds, cultures, wisdom. They are coming back to you because you need to get them back and to upgrade yourself and come from the mud into the lotus. And then you will give this to other people, to the one you love, your family or your community, whatever. You need to work with it in yourself first. But number one is seeing. If you don't see anything, you walk in the darkness. So when you understand yourself and you see yourself, are you completely healed? No, but the way you handle things with yourself can become access to the greatest wisdom, and that you can also help other people with. You have the scars. How do you live with the scars? How do you live with the trauma that you have? Can you transform it? Yes, you can. Can you heal it away 100%? Probably not. But the way to live with it and make a lotus flower, that you need to start by seeing why things happen. And you will have a gratefulness to that everything has a reason. That is how it works in that kind of session. Thank you so much. Yeah.
We need to conclude the session.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your participation. Please, Christiana, I was looking for your email. Not sure I could find it.
Yes, I'll just share it here for a quicker reach. And
conclusion words, Christiana and Nicholas, before we go to meditation.
Yes. I will also add my email here if you want. And
yeah, I sent it already.
Oh, okay. And access to my film company page if you want. It's on.
I did also.
Oh, yeah, thank you so much.
Yes.
I would just like to say that I feel that there is the openness and curiosity and a beautiful intention from every one of you. I can feel it. And I'm very grateful to see that. That is what makes your life beautiful and what also helps the world to open. So that's my only gratitude that I have right now. And also gratitude to Axel, Jonathan, and Sun Yoga and Christiana to feel your energy in this space. Thank you so much.
So grateful for... That's perfect. So grateful for your invitation too, and just to remember, as Nicholas was sharing, once you see yourself, you're able to heal. And in my therapy, in my experience with my therapy, once you go into your center, into your soul, into your core, once you see a pattern or a cause in this lifetime, you can heal it through all the other lifetimes where it has been manifested. So it's like a healing in a circle. From your core, your rays of healing go through all your lifetimes so that you're healed everywhere you've manifested that pattern. So that's how we work. I loved to share here with you. It's been an honor, and thank you so much. And please always remember that you are love, you are infinite, and you are eternal.
Thank you, Ma. Please join us for session number 3 of the day, which is actually cultural program. Session number 3 would be after cultural program. Vajji photo meditation. That's a very good transition with what you just said, Christiana. So thank you very much, Christiana.
Thank you, Nicolas. Thank you, Christiana. Very nice session.
Yes, fantastic. Good teamwork, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mina, also, and Nikki, and Lalita, and Jana. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It was fantastic to hear you, and it was really wonderful.
Okay.
Please, Mina, introduce the purpose of Mahavatar Babaji meditation, and let's get into it.
So this meditation, before starting the meditation, I would like to introduce myself. That, this meditation I have learned from Chanyogiji, and whenever I get chance to take this meditation, I feel that I am not taking. This meditation is always by Mahavatar Babaji and Chanyogiji. Without taking further more time, we are going to